Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. So right now the time is approximately 12:41 p.m. Excuse me, 12:41 a.m. It is after midnight. It is after the witching hour, approaching 13 o'clock. And the date would be Saturday, October 14th, 2017, although there are those for whom it is not the following day until after sunrise. And given how much I want to accomplish tomorrow, and given how jam-packed the workshop schedule is tomorrow, I'm going to be waking up probably very close to sunrise, not by choice, I assure you. I have adapted pretty well, and but I remain a night person. I remain a night owl, and I find I get a lot of things done, and I have these bursts of creativity when it's after sundown, you know, after 6 p.m., after 7 p.m., after 8 p.m. There are times that I adapt and I do things during the day, but for the most part, a lot of things I get done, you know, at night. I had a lovely evening. It's so funny because, you know, I'm one of those people that spends a lot of time playing with their smartphones. And I promised myself that I would be more social. Now, one thing that you'll know about me is I'm not naturally social. I know some of you are like, no, I don't believe it about this, bitch. Seriously, I'm one of those people that it takes a little bit of effort on my part and a lot of focused intention to be social, to network, to do things like that. I've always had an enormous amount of reverence, not even respect, but reverence for free-spirited people, because I don't know myself to be free-spirited. I don't know myself. To me, a free-spirited person is somebody who bursts into song and starts dancing, even if they're on the street. I don't do that. You know, I've actually, you know, I've noticed that when I'm at home and I'm by myself, or I'm with people that I love and adore and trust with my entire life, with my entire body, with my entire everything, then I might, like, you know, move around and things like that and whatnot. Although I have needed to remind myself not to dance to the music when I'm cutting vegetables with a sharp knife. No cuts. Meaning I have not cut myself and bled onto the you know, whatever. But I had a really great night tonight. I had the honor and pleasure of spending time with the Freddy Freeman, and I wasn't going to mention his name at first, but, you know, given that he is synonymous with Bare Your Soul, and there are workshops that he is presenting that are part of the Bare Your Soul body of workshops and programs, then it's appropriate to mention his name, since, you know, anybody who knows anything about Bare Your Soul knows Freddy Freeman, because he created that program, that body of workshops. So it was really lovely to spend time with him socially, because this man is 4 times busier than me. And I almost never have the opportunity to spend time with him, because he's in the vicinity of Greenwich, New York, which is where Eastern Mountain is located, and I live 10 minutes away from Midtown Manhattan in New Jersey. So, you know, I rarely have the opportunity to spend time with him, to see him, to hang out with him. But we had some really great conversations, and we really bonded, which I really enjoyed, because he's such a sweet man, and he's such a supremely talented singer and songwriter. And he has this lovely husband named Jay, who is also massively talented and massively creative. And but I've spent more time with Jay, For me, it's a treat to spend time with Freddie. And I also have one of his albums. I know it's hard to believe I only have one of the Freddy Freeman's albums, but I'm getting there. So, but the highlight of my evening was going to a burlesque show. Now, I want to tell you something. I love Pennsylvania. You know, I do. I love New Hope. I love Philadelphia, especially the Center City section of Philadelphia. And of course, I love East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And every time I'd go to Philadelphia, and specifically Center City, and more specifically, particularly the neighborhood, I would see advertisements for a burlesque show. And I would always be like, oh man, I forgot. Man, I got to remember this for the next time. And what happens? I go back to Philadelphia. I go back to Center City. I go back to the neighborhood. What do I forget? To plan ahead and see a burlesque show. So here's the concept about burlesque. So first of all, it is like a burlesque show, except that instead of, you know, women that are shapely and curvy and whatnot, there are men who have beards and who are hairy and husky, and they're wearing things that are sultry and seductive and whatnot. And it was wonderful. It was actually quite tasteful. You know, I mean, yes, there were moments when it was like, oh, that man is not wearing anything covering his ass, and you know, I enjoyed it. But it was fun. It was really fun to watch these performances and to see these performers create this world, this fantasy world, because you know, I'm not somebody that openly drools at other men. I'm not somebody that openly like you know, I don't do things like that. My mother raised me a certain way. You know, I'm Mr. Prim and proper, and you know, when I was growing up and when I was in high school, I was called Goody Two Shoes by more than one kid and on more than one occasion. That's actually the nicest nickname I had in high school. I'm not going to talk about the not so nice ones. But it really was fun. It was a lot of fun, and it gave me an opportunity to be more social. And I hardly spent time with my smartphone. And I have a really nice and snazzy smartphone. I have a Galaxy J3. Excuse me, I have a Samsung Galaxy J3. My smartphone is the shit, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, but I wanted to make a quick video because I'm just feeling so good. I'm feeling wonderful, and I am so happy to be here. I'm sounding like a broken record. You know, I really am. But the reality is, and the long and short of it is, that right now I am very happy. I am very at peace. And I am very happy to be in the presence of people who are lovely and spiritually open and spiritually uplifting, and people who are creative and who are talented, and in a place where I am pretty much surrounded by so much nature. You know, even though Doreen Virtue made this bombshell renouncement of tarot and mediumship, I can't deny that there was a time when I learned a great deal from her. And one thing that I loved learning from her, and especially through her books and through her various oracle card decks, is that spending time in nature is very spiritually cleansing. It's very spiritually uplifting. It's very spiritually and magically recharging. And I've noticed there have been several occasions this evening when I've had really strong flashes of intuition, and there are clear and evident signs of things that were happening. You know, when I was having dinner earlier in the indoor patio, there was a couple there, and I was talking, you know, one of the two of them initiated conversation with me, even though we were like let's say I'm here and he and his life partner were there. So, you know, here we are, like, and I was okay with that. I'm not one of those people like, don't talk to me, I'm eating, you know, I don't do that. But it was fun. It was interesting because they had the other guy who had asked me, what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I'm a professional psychic, and I also have a side position of employment doing this. And the funny thing was, before the other guy left, and I'll just say their names. So one is named. No, they're telling me not names. Okay, so one, his first name begins with the letter F, as in Frank, and the other one, his life partner, his name begins with the letter D, as in David. So F as in Frank initiated contact, and D as in David continued contact. And before D as in David left to join his life partner F as in Frank, he said to me, it's not a coincidence that you have the same name as my best friend who's been dead 8 years. And he's still alive in spirit. I'm like, I don't have a doubt about that. That I wouldn't think anything less. That your best friend is absolutely still alive in spirit. Now, what I didn't tell D as in David is that my birthday is January 8th. And if you add up all the digits of my birth date, 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 0, you get 26, which numerologically reduces to 8. And according to the Chaldean Hebrew Kabbalah system of numerology, the number 8 vibration is intensified if the native sun sign is Capricorn. My sun sign is Capricorn, and I also have Mercury and Venus in Capricorn. So I was just like taking all this in, like, wow, you just cannot make this stuff up. It was a beautiful evening. It was a lot of fun. It was very relaxing. Oh, so much yawning. Excuse me. It was very relaxing, and it was really nice to reconnect with people that I hadn't seen in a very long time. And it was lovely to just be myself. I'm not that I'm incapable of being myself. Not that I'm prone to wearing a lot of masks, but it's not every day that I get to spend time here. Rainbow Mountain Resort is not an exorbitantly priced resort. It's pretty reasonable, but it's it is like a lot of things. They're geared towards people who work 9-to-5 jobs, work traditional business hours, and usually have salaries that are in the 50,000 annual mark and above. So it's really nice to be able to have this good fortune, to be able to come back here and to be able to spend time here as often as I have. And yeah, so I'm very, very, very thankful to so many celestial beings, and particularly so many goddesses and angels, for making it possible for me to be here this weekend. And I am just so happy to spend some time with people that have great energy, that are genuine people, that are lovely, that are very creative, that are very authentic. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the weekend. I must admit, the big thing for me about waking up early tomorrow, well, 2 reasons. Number one, I really do want to go to Mount Nebo Park, and I want to take a photograph of I'm calling it the Impact Crater Lake, because it's this lake in this park. And essentially what happened was this meteor hit this part of the planet, whatever number of years ago it was. It could have been millennia, it could have been centuries, but more than likely it was more than millennia, and left this impact crater. And the crazy thing is, here, let's say, it's been a while since I've done the webcam thing, so let's say here. Let's say here is where the land and the edge of the lake meet. Basically, one can just like walk, and it slopes down. Like it really slopes down. And it's the craziest thing. It's like it's cool and it's crazy and it's crazy cool and it's almost weird. I've never seen any. I mean, I've been around bodies of water before. I've been around lakes and waterfalls and oceans and rivers. I've never seen anything like that. And you know, it's wild. It is just an utterly wild thing. And you know, I remember I've mentioned in previous videos that I am an initiated companion of Grove Argentum, which is both a Manhattan-based chapter of the Druid clan of Dana, and it's also a Manhattan-based chapter of the International Fellowship of the Goddess Isis. And the high priestess of that grove had recommended the last time that I was here, which was back in May of 2016, that I meditate by the edge of the river, of this lake rather, where this impact crater was. And I didn't know about the impact crater at the time. But I did, you know, and I don't want to say that I tried, but what happened was, I forgot the name of the snake that like zigzags on the surface of the water. So when I felt and saw that snake, I really could not relax enough to enter into a meditative state, which I found very frustrating. I found it extremely frustrating. And I definitely want to go back and see if I can meditate a little more calmly and connect more deeply with the sacred fae. Oh, pardon me. Oh, excuse me. With the sacred fae, with the spirits of the land. You know, I really love this. The thing that I need to make sure is I remember to like follow directions and follow my intuition, because the last time that I went with somebody, so you know, I was able to like make sure that I went back in the same direction from which I came. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. My intention is to take a photograph of this sloping impact crater lake and post it to my Instagram account. And who knows, I might even do a quick video on my cell phone and show that and then upload that. With my smartphone's SD card, I'm not going to want to make it too long. I might make it 3 minutes, because I'm not going to upload it to Instagram, although I might, who knows. We'll see. But I definitely need to go to bed, because I'm getting the sense that I'm going to start losing track of how much I yawn. And here we go. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So, YouTube, have a beautiful night. Have a wonderful weekend. And may all the celestial beings that you love and adore continue to lovingly and lavishly bless you and yours with beautiful surprises, with wonder-filled moments, with peace, and with clarity, and with illumination. Until next time.